Yo, what up guys? So this is episode 8 of Bloons Tower Defense Battles, and we have a really interesting day today. So if you guys want to press that little green button that says like on it for me, that'd be super duper freaking awesome. I definitely appreciate it, and it's going to make me want to make more Bloons Tower Defense Battles videos. Anyways, let's explain what's going on between the three videos here, and then I'll talk about what's actually going on in this game right here. First of all, there's 3 games in this one. The first one is just showing me doing some of my basic strategy here. I'm doing my basic 3 or 4 boomerang start and with a huge rush eventually. And then my second game is actually me going with a little bit of a different strategy. I went with a monkey village, which I don't normally do, by the way. I'm just showing you guys some other different separate strategies that you might want to think about doing. They might be better for you than they are for me. Personally, I like the boomerang strategy the best. It's the most simple, it's the easiest to do, and you can barely ever mess it up. On the other hand, the other 2 strategies might be a little bit harder to actually pull off. And then my third game is actually me going for a 4-2 Spike Factory in a regular game, which doesn't usually happen too often, by the way. So, you guys will actually see some pretty interesting gameplay here, and I think you guys are actually going to really like it. And it's actually showing you a couple of new different types of strategies that you guys can try out if you feel like it. So what's actually going on here? First thing you're going to notice is he went with a banana farm pretty fast, but it's actually not getting upgraded very much, and he's also not sending very many balloons at me overall. While me, I'm sending out tons and tons of balloons at him, and I'm going to get a banana farm pretty soon here. Pretty much, I don't even really know when I'm going to get it, but I'm going to get it pretty soon here. I'm getting quite a bit of money. I don't want to waste too much money. I noticed that he started off with a farm straight from the get-go, and then got 2 quick banana farm, or I mean 2 quick boomerangs right after that, up to like 1-0 or something. So that was pretty interesting. This game, I went for a banana farm right before the beginning of round 5. And usually what I do is I try and go for a banana farm right before the start of a round, or right at the start of a round, because that's when it gives you the most money. It's just right at the beginning of that round. And you don't want to waste all your money sending, or building a farm like at the end of round, or the middle of round 3 or something, and then you're not even going to get any money really out of it for that round. You could have easily made more money sending out balloons at people. So that's usually what I do with my banana farms. I usually wait until before a round, or like at the beginning of a round. That's usually what I do. So what you're going to notice is I lost quite a few lives here, because I sent out because I used that banana farm, and he was sending pink balloons at me. And pink balloons surprisingly do a lot of damage to me. Whenever I have my boomerang start, it's hard for me to fend off my pink balloons, but I usually end up doing it. It's not like he's going to kill me or anything. I lost 75 lives. Not too big of a deal, but yeah, it's still, you know, I'd rather have 150, obviously. And he's probably thinking he's a boss or something, because he's got 150 lives. He's got a better banana farm than me. And this is what I decided to do. I decided to just check out what kind of defense he has, if he has any lag or anything like that. And I sent out quite a few of these black regen balloons, just to see how much damage I could do to him. And I was like, oh, I'm really doing not too much damage, but then I realized, oh, wait, actually, I am doing some damage. I did 31 lives already. I'm actually going to go for an easy, fast kill right here and see what happens. And usually you don't want to always do this. You want to kind of test out the water a little bit before you send out all your money in balloons like that. And I don't feel like I wasted too much money, but I at least tested the water and saw that, okay, he did have good enough defense. It also made him get more towers that he couldn't build banana farms with. And that left me with just enough money to actually get my mortar up, and I got my 2 farms still, which I basically have the same amount of economy as him with farms, but sadly he doesn't have as much economy via balloons as me, so technically I'm winning economy-wise. Now this next level is a difficult level, guys. You gotta be careful for 13. They can easily send out a big wave of regen zebras or regen rainbows or something like that, and they can easily overtake you, so you gotta be careful for level 13. If he did attack me, but though, what I would do really fast is sell both my banana farms and get 2 3-0 boomerangs, and I should be able to fend off his rush easy enough with that. And what I'm actually going to do is, I know what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to save up and try and get some ceramics. So I first tried to beat the ceramics, just in case he does send some ceramics at me. The 2-3 boomerangs are just a little bit better versus the ceramics, so that's why I got 2 of those instead of a bunch of 3-0 boomerangs. And then I started saying, okay, it's time to send my giant rush at him. I found his weakness. I don't think he can fend off all these regen ceramics. So that was the end of game number 1. Really not too bad. I beat him, you know, pretty easily, but not ridiculously easy or anything like that. It was a close game. He could have you know, made it a lot more difficult for me sending some regen balloons or something in level 13 or so, 14 maybe. He could probably beat me, actually, if he played his cards the correct way. Sadly, he did not really do that. So here's the next game. This game is not versus someone unbelievably amazing or anything like that, but he's still a decent player. His name is Gassler, I think. That's what it is. And I'm doing my normal boomerang strat to start. But you guys will see some interesting gameplay here. I think you guys might want to try this out. It's actually really cool and interesting to actually do something like this, because it's something kind of unexpected for the other player to actually see and might make them not know what to do. And especially if you're kind of a low-level player, you know, got 200, 300, maybe even up to 1,000 battle points, people might not have really seen this yet, and they might be a little bit confused about it. So what you're going to notice is, he's not sending any balloons out at me, so I'm like, you know what, screw it, I'm going with an early banana farm. So I got an early banana farm at level 2, and I don't even have an upgraded boomerang there. She's just kind of chilling there, doing pretty much nothing, and I'm like, okay, whatever, it's fine by me, I'll just get an upgraded boomerang whenever he starts sending balloons at me. And other than that, I'm just going to keep sending balloons at him, and I'll make more and more and more money. So I finally got my 1-0 boomerang, and I don't mind losing 5, 10, 15, 20 lives if it's talking about me getting an extreme freaking economy, guys. That's the way I like to roll. I don't mind losing some lives if I'm going to get a better economy for later in the game, because I don't care about 20 lives. I care about the 150. I'm not going to lose until I lose all 150. So I usually don't care about those little minute amounts of balloon loss at the beginning here if it means I'm going to do better later in the game. So I think you guys should think about doing that too. Don't worry about losing 10, 20 lives. It doesn't matter that much. It doesn't even matter. Just say screw it. Who cares? If you lose 50 lives, no big deal. If you lose 100, then you might want to start getting a little bit worried. But I mean, unless you're getting really, really low, don't worry about it too much, guys. Don't worry. If somebody's got 120, 150 lives and you have 5 left, you can easily make a comeback. One rush and you win that game. So, what am I doing now? I'm at level 4, and I actually have a really, really good economy here, guys. I have, oh, well, here he started sending balloons at me, but I have a 2-0 banana farm, and I have my 3-0 boomerang up, so he's not going to easily send a bunch of balloons at me and just rape me for no reason whatsoever. And I've been sending tons of balloons at him, so it's pretty much like I'm rolling in the dough here. I don't have to worry about pretty much anything. But yeah, I do actually have to worry about stuff, because just in case he randomly sends some regrow blacks or regrow whites, I have to make sure I have a good enough defense that I can beat that. You don't want to get too adventurous here and just think the other person's just a total noob or something and they're not doing anything, and that you can just go straight economy the entire time. No, you should play it a little tiny itty bit safe, and sometimes it's just safe enough as actually just having a 1-0 banana farm that you can easily sell and get some sort of stronger boomerang or something. Sometimes that's the way I roll. I think, you know what, I'm going to go for the economy, and if he figures out my weakness and sends a bunch of regrow blacks and whites at me, I'm just going to say, okay, fine, I'll sell my banana farm back. I lost $100, $200, no big deal. I can still come back and do this pretty easily. And he wasted his money sending out regrow blacks and whites at me. So we're pretty much perfectly even, guys. That's the way I roll, and if you guys want to learn from me, go right ahead. It's fantastic. So now what you're going to notice here, this is the weird part of my strategy that I don't normally do, which I found was actually quite interesting, which I might try out a little bit now. Now the only real reason that I say this is not super unbelievably fantastically amazing, the main problem here is that, guess what, you only really get 2 towers, because your other 2 towers are banana farms and monkey village, which means you only have 2 attack towers, which can leave you kind of open to certain things in certain conditions, so you gotta be careful here. Now you don't have to worry about any sort of camo detection, because your monkey village should have camo detection by level 12, or very soon after level 12 if you need to sell some sort of banana farm. But I got it for level 10, so I'm not worried at all. I got 3 2-0 banana farms, so I'm rolling in the dough here, guys. I got so much money to spend. I'm actually going to go for a basic survive strategy. Once you got your monkey village, you really don't have to worry about too much. Especially if you got some 3-0 and 2-3 boomerangs going on there. If you get 3 or 4 or 5 of those boomerangs, you shouldn't have to worry about too much until you get to level 15 when the ceramics come. You might have to worry about a little bit. So I recommend getting some sort of, I think once you get 6 or 7 boomerangs, you pretty much can't die until level 18 when the Moabs come. So I mean, just think about it like that. I mean, even if you mix and match those boomerangs, just mix and match them, some 2-3s, some 3-0s, you're not really going to lose very easily. Boomerangs are ownage in this game, especially if you get a bunch of them. And versus ceramics, obviously 2-3 boomerangs are better than 3-0, so keep that in mind. A lot of people make way too many 3-0 boomerangs and think they're just going to come out of the come out and magically beat ceramics, and it's not true. It doesn't work like that, guys. You need to mix them a little bit. 2-3s are actually better versus ceramics, so put those guys on strong to pop the ceramics, and then the 3-0 boomerangs will pop everything inside. That's the basic way you want to do it. So we're at level 15 already, and I could easily win here, guys, but I just wanted to give you guys a good show, and I'm like, okay, I'll make this interesting. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 boomerangs. There's no way he can beat me right now. I don't want to wait for the Moabs, though, because obviously, if he does send some Moabs at me, I will die. So, if you wanted to, what you could do is, there's pretty much 2 techniques to this. You can either build a 4-2 spike factory, sell some of your banana farms, get a 4-2 spike factory. You can easily afford it with, or not banana, sell some of your banana farms and maybe a boomerang or 2 if you need to. You can easily survive and survive Moabs and all that, but I decided, you know what, screw it. Level 17 is coming up. I'm just going to send out some regen balloons at him. I'm going for the easy win here, guys. I don't want to act too cool and then I end up losing the game because of lag or something. And here's the final game. This guy is F13RC, I believe. I think that's what it says. And he's really good. He's got like almost 5,000 battle points by now, almost double me. So he's been playing a lot, guys. He's a really good player. I think we're about even on wins and losses right now, but this was a pretty sweet game. And I think if you guys can, you guys should try and do something like this. It's very interesting and very fun as well. This was a really good game. Now the first thing I noticed is, as always, a lot of people start off with banana farms, which I don't think is the best way to go, but hey, I guess it's up to opinion a little bit, and until somebody proves me wrong that starting off sending balloons is worse than getting a banana farm right from the get-go, I'm going to keep up with my strategy because it's been working fantastic for me. I think sending balloons before banana farm works just a little bit better, so I'm going to keep doing it. So I just start sending out crap loads of balloons at him, hoping that I'm going to overtake him just a little bit here, get some damage on him, because that's the main thing with the banana farm here, guys, is you want to get some early lives lost on him while you can do it, because he's going most of the economy, obviously. And the thing about it is, even if he goes with a banana farm first, he can still send out balloons at you and get more economy. So, I mean, that is totally plausible. Just like I can do that too. I can make a banana farm and then go with a bunch of random balloons. I usually choose not to do that, though. I feel like sending balloons out first is actually a little bit better, because it can leave you open to maybe making a 2-3 boomerang, or maybe making a 3-0 boomerang if you want, compared to if you have a banana farm. You kind of have to wait. So here's, if you notice, I'm actually going mostly economy again because he's not sending very many balloons at me, guys. He's not sending a lot of balloons at me. He's going mostly banana farms. And when that happens, you can go mostly economy, and if not more economy than them. You have the economy from the balloons and the farms. Well, he just has the farm economy. So that's why you guys have an advantage right here. Going with both. And it's level 4 only, and if you notice, it's actually, we're actually going pretty far here with the time. Now, I was actually expecting him to send pinks out at me, because whenever you have a 3-0 boomerang, you're weak versus a pink rush, and you usually have to build some sort of 2-3 boomerang, but I think he expected me to just be able to counter that pretty easily, and he'd rather get some more economy as well, so he decided to just send some blues at me, get some extra economy for him. I think those are actually not group blues, though. They're actually the, which is kind of weird if you ask me. They're actually the blues on the far left there, the shift 1 blues, the spaced blues. So I don't know why he was thinking about sending those. Kind of weird if you ask me, but maybe there was some method behind his madness. He probably wanted to get more banana farms and just slowly have a trickle of extra economy coming in. That was probably what I was thinking he was doing here. So if you can notice, I have my banana farm. I have a pretty reasonable economy here, guys. It's up to like 450 or so. So I have a reasonable economy, and I have my banana farm up to 2-0. So it's excellent. Excellently fantastic. And what I'm going to do is, just in case he ever did send blacks at me, or did send a bunch of regen somethings at me, I can always upgrade that boomerang right there easily and really fast to 2-3 or at least 0-3 or something like that to defend. And if I need to, I can always sell a banana farm. That's the key, guys. Don't feel terrible if you need to sell a banana farm to stop a rush. You'd rather sell a banana farm and still have a chance to maybe take them out later in the game, even though you're hurt just a little bit. Then just chill there and be like, well, I'm going to lose all 129 lives, and then, oh no, they randomly got through and you lost. No, that's not a good idea. So this game was actually super duper fun. I thought this was one of the best games I've played in a long time. But I knew his weakness, and I feel like he didn't know what my weakness was after I got my super awesome tower, which I'll show you guys in a second. So yeah, he went for a big rush at me. He went for a regen white rush, which a lot of people actually tend to do. It's not that fantastically amazing, especially if you have some 3-0 boomerangs and stuff like that, but it can obviously do some damage if you're not ready for it. So you guys got to be a little bit careful with it. Just a little bit careful. Don't be ridiculously crazy and buy like 4 boomerangs or something. But here was the main thing I did different than I normally do. I was like, you know what? I stopped his rush. I have better economy. I'm going to get a 3-0 banana farm. Freaking awesome. That thing's $3,200 just for that upgrade. So that's an expensive freaking upgrade. But guess what? We have an extreme economy right here. He's not going to be able to beat me with ceramics, and he's not going to be able to beat me with just a regen rush. So we know that for each other. So that's why I'm like, okay, even with his 2 or 3 boomerangs there, he's not going to be able to stop me, and or I'm not going to be able to kill him. And he's thinking the exact same thing. He's like, oh crap, he's got 4 boomerangs up there. I'm just going to waste all my money. I might have a chance of beating him, but I'd rather not have a chance. I want to have a for sure thing. So he's waiting for a for sure thing just as well as I am. And you don't want to just randomly send out balloons and just say, I think I might win. You want to be like, I'm going to win. I'm going to win. I know I'm going to win. That's the main key here, guys. You want to make sure you know you're going to win that game instead of just randomly throwing balloons out whenever you feel like it. That's not how you do it. You look for a weakness and then you exploit it. And I don't see a weakness in his defense. Those attack shooters have surprisingly a lot of popping power, and even though I really don't have that much ceramic popping power, I could easily just sell a banana farm and get a 2-3 boomerang, and he knows that. He understands that. So he's like, you know, I'm not going to send out my big wave because I'm just going to waste all my money. And it's true, he's right, because I could easily sell a banana farm, if not 2 banana farms, get some boomerangs and just totally rape him. So we're both playing kind of carefully here. You also got to watch when that person's going to sell their banana farms, because you know when they sell their banana farms, they're expecting either you to send a big wave or they're going to send a big wave at you. So when that happens, usually when the other person sells their banana farms, I usually sell my banana farms. I either go for a big rush or I usually try and defend and overtake them a little bit later, because they're going to be $6,000, $7,000 down if they're sending a big rush and you can actually end up beating it. So here's level 17, and I'm like, you know what? I have a ton of money here. What should I do? I have basically $7,000 built up in banana farms right now. Let's get a 4-2 spike factory. And this is the key, guys. 4-2 spike factories are freaking amazing. If you guys need to get to level 18, you guys need to beat Moabs, 4-2 spike factories are the way to go. Start them as early as you can, round 17. Don't wait till round 18 and then get them, or you might not get enough defense built up. But 4-2 spike factories basically have no weaknesses. BFBs, it can beat a BFB if you get enough of them built up. And what I'm doing is I'm just going to say, you know what, I'm going to send out some Moabs at him. He really doesn't have that much Moab popping power. Those attack shooters have something, but they're really not that good. And he's going to go with his one last ditch effort of sending out a bunch of non-space ceramics, and it's not enough. So that's all I got for you guys. Hopefully you guys learned something. If you want to press that like button, super duper appreciated. Thank you and have a fantastic day.